The House Elections Committee will come to order. Would the clerk please take the attendance?
Chair Cerniglia.
Here.
Representatives Wagella.
Here.
Hope.
Here.
Colzar.
Here.
Burns.
Here.
Churches.
Present.
Smith.
Present.
DeBoyer.
Here.
Madam Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Representative Hope makes a motion to adopt the minutes from the May 23, 2023 meeting. Without objections, the minutes are adopted. For today's agenda, we will have testimony on House Bill 4440. Here to speak on the bill is Representative Reinigans and whomever
Thank you, Madam
she
Chair.
would like to join her.
Former state senator from Vermont, Chris Pearson, who is very well aware of national popular vote. So thank you.
Welcome, Mr. Pearson.
Thank you, Chair, for letting us come back and talk a little bit about this trailer bill. So I think folks here remember HB 4156, which will join Michigan into the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. This bill, 4440, accompanies that to make sure that our state election law aligns with the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact once that goes into effect. So since all of the other states that are joining the compact have to have the same language in that bill, this bill just makes sure that Michigan law, since it's unique and is not like every other state, on the advice of some counsel we wanted to make sure that it reiterates the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact language and make sure that the implementation is clear once that goes into effect here in Michigan. We do have a substitute that we are bringing to you today, and it provides specific procedures for the appointment of presidential electors in Michigan, consistent with the compact, and it would apply for any presidential election that is using the compact once it's been approved by a sufficient number of states. So as it was introduced, HB 4440 provided for the appointment of presidential electors as provided in the compact, but didn't add additional details, so this substitute adds some additional details for implementation. It also provides for the appointment of presidential electors and for communication of those results in a manner that is consistent with the recently enacted Electoral Count Reform and Presidential Transition Improvement Act of 2022. Happy to take questions.
Thank you, and I do want to note for everyone who was present that we did have a full hearing on the National Popular Vote earlier this year, and we heard from many different groups and individuals that wish to be heard at that time. So if we could try to limit our questions to the companion bill that Representative Reinigans is introducing or testifying on here today, we would appreciate that. Do we have questions? No. I see no questions. Thank you both.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, so I'm going to note that we have many cards submitted today, and those will be read into the record. We also have two individuals wishing to speak. First, I have Sherry Ritchie from PIME Stand Up Michigan and Freedom Alliance. Ms. Ritchie, I would. You may come up. You do not wish to speak. On 4440. I would. If you are speaking on something you have not spoken on yet in this committee, then I would welcome you to come speak.
Yeah, not that one. I should have indicated that on my card.
No, this. Oh, I'm sorry. This is an opportunity for you to speak on anything that you have not previously spoken on at this committee. If you have not yet spoken, because I know we did have a hearing on these, but we did not get to everyone. So if you were at that hearing and you did not have the opportunity to speak, then I welcome you. If you have already spoken, then we are not providing a second opportunity, but you have already spoken on those? Oh, okay. Thank you. We also have Scott Urbanowski from Pride at Work, Michigan. Mr. Urbanowski, have you had an opportunity to speak on these at the past hearing, or you have not? Okay, then we welcome you to speak. Thank you.
Yes, just speak for a few minutes. Good morning, Madam Chair and everyone. My name is Scott Urbanowski. I am the new president of Pride at Work Michigan, which is the LGBTQ plus affiliate of the AFL-CIO. Now, Pride at Work Michigan, we believe that voting rights are integral to all rights, including workers' rights, as well as LGBTQ plus rights. We do support the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. At our last convention last year, the Pride at Work National Convention adopted my resolution in support of NPVIC. And in addition to some of the arguments that you've probably already heard before, and I did see part of the your previous hearing online, I would also like to add that under the U.S. Constitution, if no presidential candidate gets a majority of the vote, the election goes into a very Byzantine process where the president is elected by the U.S. House, but each state only gets one vote. So you would have 50 votes, and it could be a while before one candidate gets 26 out of those 50 votes. So national popular vote, in addition to the simple matter of fairness, which we certainly support at Pride at Work Michigan, it would also make it so that we wouldn't have to have that kind of situation where no candidate gets 270 electoral votes. Like if there's this 269 to 269 tie, or if one candidate gets exactly 270 electoral votes in the election, but one of their electors turns out to be a faithless elector, so to speak. And while Michigan does have a law preventing faithless electors, some states do not. In fact, in 2016, 7 presidential electors from across the nation did not vote for the candidate for whom they were pledged to vote, Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump, 7 of them. I believe that NPVIC is a way to help prevent that. In terms of a couple of the other bills that have already been brought forward, in terms of pre-registration as well as the online absentee voting, is now a good time to talk about those, just very briefly about those, Madam Chair? Okay. I would also like to add that we do support making it easier to vote, as Michigan voters in general have supported making it easier to vote and making sure that our elections are protected and our voting rights are protected. And so one thing I do want to suggest about those bills is that, as you know, under the Constitution, voters may now request an absentee ballot once and automatically receive absentee ballots in each future election. And what I would like to suggest is that instead of just having that kind of online, instead of having that option on the regular absentee ballot application, I would suggest that we have that option available year-round, so that any day out of 365 days of the year, or 366 in leap years, that voters can just go online and request to automatically receive absentee ballots. Because right now, there is a 75-day window before each election in which voters can request an absent voter ballot. So what I would suggest is that instead of just having it those 75 days, that you allow voters to go online at any time, or even request in paper at any time to automatically receive an absentee ballot instead of just in that 75-day window before. And in terms of pre-registration, that's another suggestion that I would like to offer in terms of pre-registration, is that when someone is pre-registering to vote, that they be able to check off a box saying, yes, I want to enroll to receive absent voter ballots. Again, these are obviously reforms that the people of Michigan spoke out in favor of, voting in favor of last year and in 2018. I will say, just as a volunteer, I was proud to get some of the signatures, not a whole lot of signatures, but some of the signatures to get proposals 18-3 and 22-2 onto the ballot. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Urbanowski. Do the committee members have questions? Thank you for sharing, and thank you for sharing your suggestions.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, Representative Wagella makes a motion to adopt the amendment to HB 4567. Mr. Clerk, please call the vote.
On the motion to adopt the amendment, Chair Cerniglu,
Yes.
Representatives Wagella,
Yes.
Hope,
Yes.
Colzar,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Churches,
Yes.
Smith,
No.
DeBoyer.
No.
Madam Chair, you have 6 yeas, 2 nays, 0 pass. The amendment is adopted.
Thank you. Representative Colazar makes a motion to report HB 4567 with recommendation. Mr. Clerk, please call the vote.
On the motion to report, Chair Cerniglu?
Yes.
Representatives Wagella?
Yes.
Hope?
Yes.
Colzar?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Churches?
Yes.
Smith?
No.
DeBoyer?
No.
Madam Chair, you have 6 yeas, 2 nays, 0 pass. HB 4567, support the recommendation as amended as substituted.
Thank you. Representative Burns makes a motion to report HB 4568 with recommendation. Mr. Clerk, please take the vote.
On the motion to report, Chair Cerniglu?
Yes.
Representatives Wagella?
Yes.
Hope?
Yes.
Colzar?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Churches?
Yes.
Smith?
No.
DeBoyer?
No.
Madam Chair, you have 6 yeas, 2 nays, 0 pass. HB 4568, support the recommendation.
Representative Churches makes a motion to report HB 4569 with recommendation. Mr. Clerk, please call the vote.
On the motion to report, Chair Cerniglu?
Yes.
Representatives Wagella?
Yes.
Hope?
Yes.
Colzar?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Churches?
Yes.
Smith?
No.
DeBoyer?
No.
Madam Chair, you have 6 yeas, 2 nays, 0 pass. HB 4569, support the recommendation.
Thank you. Representative Wagella makes a motion to report HB 4570 with recommendation. Mr. Clerk, please call the vote.
On the motion to report, Chair Cerniglu?
Yes.
Representatives Wagella?
Yes.
Hope?
Yes.
Colzar?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Churches?
Yes.
Smith?
No.
DeBoyer?
No.
Madam Chair, you have 6 yeas, 2 nays, 0 pass. HB 4570, support the recommendation.
Thank you. Representative Hope makes a motion to report HB 4156 with recommendation. Mr. Clerk, please call the vote.
On the motion to report, Chair Cerniglu?
Yes.
Representatives Wagella?
Yes.
Hope?
Yes.
Colzar?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Churches?
Yes.
Smith?
No.
DeBoyer?
No.
Madam Chair, you have 6 yeas, 2 nays, 0 pass. HB 4156, support the recommendation.
Thank you. Representative Burns makes a motion to adopt substitute H1 to HB 4440. Mr. Clerk, please call the vote.
On the motion to adopt the substitute, Chair Cerniglu?
Yes.
Representatives Wagella?
Yes.
Hope?
Yes.
Colzar?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Churches?
Yes.
Smith?
No.
DeBoyer?
No.
Madam Chair, you have 6 yeas, 2 nays, 0 pass. The substitute is adopted.
Thank you. Representative Churches makes a motion to report HB 4440 with recommendation. Mr. Clerk, please call the vote.
On the motion to report, Chair Cerniglu?
Yes.
Representatives Wagella?
Yes.
Hope?
Yes.
Colzar?
Yes.
Burns?
Yes.
Churches?
Yes.
Smith?
No.
DeBoyer?
No.
Madam Chair, you have 6 yeas, 2 nays, 0 pass. HB 4440, support the recommendation, substitute H1.
There being no further business before the committee will stand adjourned.